Hi friends, it's Angela here for EllenHudson.com, and I'm so glad you're here. With the holiday season upon us, I'm sure that many of you have been doing some holiday crafting, whether that's card making or tag making or maybe some DIY gift package making. I haven't quite finished up my holiday cards yet, but today I'm taking a break from those to show you how I made a DIY Christmas Village advent calendar using some products from the Essentials by Ellen line. We're going to make 25 treat boxes in total for our advent calendar, and we'll be making 4 of those with the new Wide House box and the Christmas add-on die sets. And then we'll be making the remaining 21 boxes with the pyramid box die and the candy corn add-on. And we'll also need the essential block numbers and symbols die set, as well as the Forever Fringe die set. As for our color palette, normally I am all for the unconventional Christmas colors, but today we're going to go with a very traditional color scheme. I've got some Concord and Ninth cardstock in cranberry, evergreen, and clover, and then I've got 2 specialty cardstocks, the Concord and Ninth white glitter, and some wood grain embossed craft cardstock from Memory Box. Now, we're going to be doing a lot of die cutting in this project, but it's all very straightforward, so I went ahead and did almost all of that before I got my camera going so we can focus mostly on the assembly and the decoration, which in my opinion is the fun part. So to build the house, I've used the big die from the Wide House box set to cut 2 of the same pieces, one for the front and one for the back. And then we've used the little dies here from the Christmas add-on set to cut the position of where the door and the windows are going to go. Having made a lot of these houses already, I definitely recommend cutting all of the pieces and then adhering all the details, like the windows and the doors, with your house bases rather flat before doing any folding. It is so much easier to do this than trying to glue little details on a 3D box, and it just makes the process so much faster. A really fine point bottle of glue is also going to be helpful for these thin window pieces. And I've used my magnets from my glass mat on those upper windows. I found that it was really helpful for applying pressure there while the glue's set, especially since that white glitter cardstock underneath has much more of a coarse texture. I planned to make houses for the 8th, the 15th, the 20th, and the 25th days, and then trees for all the other days. So that's why I'm sticking the number 15 onto the side of this one. Once both the front and the back had their details on, I put these aside so all the adhesive could set while I moved on to making a tree. I found the best strategy for making the trees was to do all the die cutting for them ahead, and that way I could put them together in an assembly line type fashion without having to go back and forth multiple times to my die cutting machine in between. So I've got all the pieces laid out for one tree, and what I still need to do is use the Forever Fringe die to cut a little bit of texture onto the tree's bottom tier. I'm using the bottom piece from the candy corn add-on for this, and then cutting first from some evergreen cardstock, then lining it up over the Forever Fringe die so that the lines will cut along the bottom. Moving right along, I'm now assembling 4 of these triangle panels for the sides of the pyramid box, and these are going to go onto the pyramid base pieces. We've got 2 pyramid base pieces, and then we'll put 2 of the triangles onto each. Then, once those are assembled, I set them aside so that wet adhesive could dry. Going back to the house box, it's time to put this guy together now. So I've personally found that it's easiest to do this by starting at the top seam first, and I definitely prefer using double-sided adhesive tape for this construction over liquid glue, just because it's much stronger and there's no setting time needed. I'll press together those top edges, then move on to secure the flaps on the side. One tool that you will find might come in handy for this, I certainly did, is a bone folder, and I use it to apply pressure to the adhesive in those little corners that can be really hard to reach with your fingers. One thing I want to point out here is that this box flap on the right-hand side does have potential to show if your windows on the front of the house are cut kind of close to the edge. Don't worry though, the fix is super simple. You just grab a pair of scissors and snip off that little bit of the flap and then apply your sticky tape and seal it up as normal. Then I just curved the snow on the roof to make it look like it's cascading nicely over the edge, and sealed up the bottom just using like a little glue dot. The finishing touch was that wreath on the front door, And I used some Ruby Pink Fresh Studio glitter drops for this, which I like because they have a nice flat back, but you can use whatever embellishments you like. So that we have not one, but two finished boxes. I think they're pretty cute, hey? Moving back over to our tree, I'm going to put these two base pieces together, and you'll notice we have two flaps on these. We really only need one, so I'm going to snip one off and then use double-sided adhesive to close up the other edge and smush that down firmly. Then I'll fold in the flaps, and here we have a tree. It does need a little bit of sparkle though, so I'm going to go in with my Barely Arts glue and some tiny gold stars, which I find easiest to apply with my fingers, no tweezers. And the last but totally optional step is to use a craft knife or a pen or a pencil to curl up the edges of the fringe to give the tree a little bit more flair at the bottom. Now my next favorite part after the box decorating is putting all sorts of goodies inside. You can put whatever you like inside here. I picked a combo of sweets and beauty products because the friend that I'm gifting this to is a beauty junkie. And then when it comes to displaying the boxes, you could spread them out on a mantle if you have one. I do not. So instead what I did was I got a really lightweight acrylic cupcake stand and arranged them on there with the number 25 house at the very top. And then because the holidays aren't the holidays without a little twinkle, I also added some LED fairy lights. So there you have it. I hope you're feeling inspired to put on those Christmas movies, grab a cozy beverage, and have a little date with your die cutting machine. This is such a fun and easy to customize project, and I hope you'll give it a try. For full details, head over to the Ellen Hutson blog, which I've linked in the description, and don't forget to hit the subscribe bell. That way you'll never miss a new video. We'll see you back here soon. Bye!